Okay, Trump, we're counting on federal courts to declare election night winner. Okay, so he's outright saying it. He's been setting the stage for a long time now. Now he's just straight up saying, we need to announce a winner on November 3rd, on election night. We need to know who the winner is. Now, this is getting people riled up on both sides, but just stop and think about it a minute. Why do we need to announce a winner on November 3rd? Okay, the inauguration is not till January 20th. So why, if it takes a week to count all the votes, why do we need to announce a winner on election night, especially in a year where we are going to see potentially twice as many people vote by mail, while Trump is working to break down our post office and delay the mail? Why do we need to announce on November 3rd? Oh, we need to announce because on November 3rd, it's going to look like Trump won. When we've just counted the on-ground votes, it might look like he's in the lead. But most people expect by the time we go through and count all the mail-in ballots that likely Biden will be the winner. That is what most statisticians are projecting will happen. If you just look at the votes counted on November 3rd, Trump might lead. If you wait a week until all the absentee ballots are votes are counted, you're probably going to see Biden in the lead. So this is a situation where he's been saying this, so this shouldn't be shocking to any of you. Trump is literally suggesting that we don't count legitimately cast ballots by American citizens, that we shouldn't count those because it's so important that we know when we go to bed on November 3rd, we know who the president is. Why? The president is still going to be in there for months, at least, right? If he actually decides to leave, he's still going to be in there. It's not like you become president the next day. There is no real reason why we can't take an extra week or two for these states to make sure that their votes were done correctly, that the legitimate votes were counted, and that they know that they are casting their votes in the Electoral College for the right person. That is what matters, is that the votes of the American people are being counted. Okay, let's hear Trump say it. Let's hear it in his own words.
But we're going to have a victory on November 3rd, the likes of which you've never seen. Now, we're counting on the federal court system to make it so that we can actually have an evening where we know who wins, okay? Not where the votes are going to be counted a week later or 2 weeks later.
Okay, so let's remind ourselves exactly what he's talking about there. So let's go back in history now. With a significant portion of Obama's presidency left, like years, okay, over a year, McConnell just said, we're going to stop appointing federal judges, right? That's in the Constitution. The president nominates people for federal courts, both Supreme Court and lower courts. And then the Senate is supposed to deal with that. Now, we've all heard quite a bit lately about Merrick Garland being denied, and that is basically a cheating. I think that Mitch McConnell should face charges for that. That's treasonous. He's going against the Constitution. But anyways, that's a separate issue. Okay. He also did it to the lower federal courts. Hundreds of positions were not filled under Obama, which is why when Trump came in, all they've done in the Trump presidency, I mean, you could count very easily the number of bills that the Senate has actually passed. All they've been doing is pumping through federal judges, oftentimes called out as being unqualified judges. They don't even have the qualifications that a judge is supposed to have. Oftentimes seen as being very partisan and totally inappropriate picks. They're just jamming this through. They're filling all those positions with these unqualified conservative judges. And then guess who Trump is going and asking for help? He's specifically calling them out and saying, now we are counting on the federal court system to make sure that we can actually have an evening where we know who wins. He's telling the people that they put on the courts, you owe me. And when it comes to election night, you better stand by and make sure that it's only the votes from election night that count. That's what he's saying here. He's saying if you mailed in your ballot, that vote shouldn't count. Okay, so it's very obvious what this whole grift is. The whole grift has been to steal the judiciary, which Trump brags about. You hear him all the time going, oh, look how many judges I put in place. I put in more judges than anyone else. Yeah, because you unconstitutionally, McConnell here, unconstitutionally stopped giving judges to Obama, and we've somehow just let this happen. We've decided that that's okay and that it's legal, even though the Constitution says that's not how it's supposed to work. there should be prices to pay here. Again, I'm not promoting violence, but Mitch McConnell should face consequences. Donald Trump should face consequences. This is not how you're supposed to do things. So let's get on the side of things here. It's not important that we know when we go to bed on November 3rd who won the election. What's important is that about halfway through November, we know who was truly elected by the citizens of the United States. That is what matters. So we will see. We will see if they got far enough along with their takeover of the federal courts to make it just like 2000 again, right? Where the courts decide who the president is and not the people of this country. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, so go over, check out the channel on Twitch. We got a good community over there. Very interesting conversations happening while we cover the news and talk about all sorts of stuff. Have some laughs, get a little bummed out about the news, look at some good news, have some laughs. Again, have a good time, good conversation, all of that. So please come join us and join in the fun. Join in the fun, everybody.